Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Apologize for the delay and for restarting the stream, but here we go. Caution flag just happened. We'll get back to that in just a second, but right now I'm going to be restarting John Hagen, Michael Johnson up front on lap 52. Here we go. Green flag back out. John Hagen takes the lead so far. Brandon Bowie in third spot. Second place now. Three wide right now. Joseph Mealy in that number 6 car. Three wide. Max Brady right there in the middle. Dylan Bates trying to make a move here as well after an issue earlier on in the race. Looks like Tim Robb might have spun out in the back. Big wreck, actually. Tim Robb involved. I believe Grant Salzano involved as well. See some front end damage, but maybe not too bad. 15 of William Griffith maybe also involved. We'll take a look at it real quick. What happened here? Looks like it happens in the vicinity of Grant's house. Oh, Grant gets loose right here. Looks like gets pretty well loose. Oh, it's already way ahead. So Tim Robb up ahead here gets involved with Thomas George maybe, and oh no, Frankie Barroso has nowhere to go and clobbers him. Dang, Frankie Barroso right there as well gets involved. Really heavy contact. Salzano as well. Bunch of guys here, actually. We'll go back a little bit further. I want to see what actually happens to Tim Robb, since he's the one that it kind of started. Oh, it just gets loose. Hits the wall. Yeah, Thomas George has nowhere to go right there. Goes around. Frankie going to get hit right here as well. Yeah, just nowhere to go. A couple of those guys. Loose conditions on these restarts, especially too on new tires. It's pretty bad. But typically, if they can get a couple laps into it, it's a lot better. So it's all good. That can happen. Fifth caution of the day, lap 56. So keep in mind, stage 2 will end in lap 75. So a little bit about 19 laps to go, give or take, for that. So far, so good. Do apologize, folks, again, while we're under yellow for the restart. We're still trying to figure out what gremlins are holding us back here on the stream. I mean, you know, a second ago we saw all the blinky cars and whatnot, and it really only started after I queued some commercials and some things on the streaming side of things. So the more I think about it, it doesn't seem like an iRacing issue. It doesn't seem like a SDK issue, which is the software we use for the scoring tower and things like that. But starting to think it's a Streamlabs issue. Although when it was blinking, when we closed the stream down for a second, I saw in the top corner that it could be involving the CPU. So I'm not sure if that is actually the case, but potentially could be. So something I'll have to monitor and take a look at after the race tonight. But so far we're good. So we'll keep it this way. But again, I do apologize for that. We'll get it figured out eventually for sure. But these kind of things always they make me insane. So we'll get it figured out sooner than later. But if you weren't here before, Brian Murphy came in from Murphy Esports announcing that next week at Homestead, we'll have Corey Heim in the Stint 62 car at Homestead for the series. So pretty cool stuff right there. Be a lot of fun to have him. So far though, great race. Right now, a couple cautions, 5 cautions so far. Really, it's been 4 because the stage counts as 1. But yeah, that can happen for sure. but it can happen. Issues can happen. So I think for now we're going to try and minimize the things on the Streamlabs side in case that is what actually causes the issue. So we're going to oh, good. Appreciate you folks being here today, obviously. So yeah, we'll minimize the things on the Streamlabs side of things. Again, big thanks to our sponsors, obviously, but we'll try and minimize the commercials, at least for now, because it looks like that is part of the issue. So all good, though. Here we go, though. Restart. Lap 58, 59. Going to be starting on green flag. Going to go in the air. John Hagan, Brandon Bowie, your leaders. Here we go. Good stuff right now. 88 on the outside right now. I believe it's Matthew Fleming. Yes, it is. Way up high. And good stuff. A couple of cautions have happened right now, so these guys should be able to go the end of stage 2 on the fuel they have. Oh, Michael Johnson goes around right here. Also, Joseph Mealy as well. I believe this might be another incident where one crosses over the other, but again, I don't see a lot of damage from the 39. So that is good news. Also, too, Joseph Mealy got part of that. The left side looks completely fine. The right side we'll see. And okay, the front end a little bit. But really not too bad. That'll definitely be salvageable. They can fix that in the pits. But all good for sure. John Hagan, though, hold on to that lead. And he's really had the lead since the beginning of stage 2. He didn't pit in the break between stage 1 and stage 2. He pitted during a caution during stage 1. So that got him the track position. And he's shown to be pretty quick. So that's good. Matthew Pont as well, right there in 5th, was also a part of that strategy. So it's pretty clear to me that track position is going to be key in this race. I think we knew that anyway, but tonight especially, because passing is tough, but things like that can be hard. Let's go back real quick and see if we can find out what happened with Michael Johnson here, as well as Joseph Mealy. Yeah, already into the grass right there. We'll go back a little bit. Michael Johnson, here he is. Yeah, just kind of gets loose right there. We see him in front of his teammate Brandon Bowie, and just kind of goes around. Not sure if you get a little bit of a shot there from Bowie, but yeah, across the nose of Mealy, and then off they go. So not a ton of damage for both cars, but I mean, Brandon Bowie again, right in the middle of the mess. But that can definitely happen. Either way, doesn't seem too bad for those two drivers. So that is the good news. John Hagan, again, your leader. Nick Lights, Jackson Anderson, 3rd spot. Brandon Bowie, 4th. Matthew Pont, P5. Max Brady actually in 6th spot, up 32 spots on the day. So definitely got his way to the front and pretty quick. So good stuff right there. Appreciate that in the chat. Yeah, the only option is to push through, right? So technical difficulties can happen and people are going to be upset, but sometimes that's the name of the game. If it was easy, everyone would do it, right? So it's all good. We, at Race Day here, we definitely expect a high standard, and we'll get it figured out. Obviously, there's something, some kind of gremlin going on, but we took some action after Daytona last week and reset the PC, factory reset it, and man, we updated the BIOS. We did all kinds of stuff that, you know, and it definitely helped. But man, yeah, something's going on for sure, either with the CPU, I've got a funny feeling, or maybe even on the Streamlabs side of things, which is the actual broadcast part of it. So either way, we're going to find out. Next week at Homestead will be a banger of a stream for sure. If I have to go buy a new CPU tonight or tomorrow, it'll happen. So no worries there. Right now, though, lap 62, going to be lap 63 here. Choose car time as we see it. There are great sponsors right there on the left side of your screen. Harpoon Design, Premier Setups, Admin Box, Hosky.io, Battle Beaver and Cardano. Fantastic people. You can see them as well up top of the tower. Always showing off our great sponsors. So good stuff right now. Lap 63. About an hour, give or take, into this race. And right now we're seeing about 100 laps to go. About 97 really, but good stuff. 6th caution so far. Really, it's our 5th for incident. We have stage 2 coming up in about, what's that, 12 laps? So another quick shootout. And then I've got a funny feeling that stage 3, if we can get going, we're going to see some really, really good racing, some green flag racing. But different strategies for sure in the works. So good stuff. All right, here we go. Pace car going to be turning left. Going to go back, green flag racing. Here we go. Lap 64. 11 laps to go here for stage 2. Man, John Hagen, we know he's fast. We saw him last season in a couple of appearances, and he was a fast driver. Oh, yellow flag already out again. Uh-oh, who's this? Trevor Zlasny in the back of the field in the 23 but 34th position. Looks like a single car incident. We'll take a look. Yeah, it goes around right there. I'm not sure if he got hit. We'll try and get a better angle here, but Zlasny, here he is. So right behind Devin Schmacker, also in front of Grant Salzano. Let's take a look. Yeah, just flat loses it. Andrew Phipps gets a little bit right there as well. Kaufman escapes. I know a couple of these guys had Phipps as well. Got scraped right there a little bit on the right side, but not too bad. Able to maintain it, but that's the thing. I mean, again, right? This is what I was talking about earlier. It's the restarts. We've seen once these guys get it going, maybe about 3 or 4 laps into the run, we're good. And then after that, usually it's mistakes. But these guys, sometimes this happens. You know, it could be, you know, unpreparedness. You know, just not enough practice, not knowing what the car can do early in runs. A lot of different variables. A lot of guys coming on pit road, though. Grant Salzano as well. Looks like he's topping off on fuel. Pretty short pit stop. Zlasny right there going to be coming down and fixing that front end damage. A couple of more guys, Mealy and Robinson as well. Love that. Jackson Anderson, Max Brady, Nick Lights, and Matthew Pont, your top 5 right now. So far, so good. Lap 66, about 9 laps to go here before stage number 2 ends. Again, huge thanks to Premier Racing Setups for the setups today. Really good stuff. I got the chance to practice it myself last night, actually, and it's great. I mean, for me, you know, I've driven these setups personally, most recently in Dover. In Dover, if you know Dover, turn 2 is like notoriously just loose, like corner exit, super loose to get out of. And it can be an issue. But man, with this Premiere setup, it's just like it just takes that variable out of it, and it's so nice. So definitely go and check them out. Premiere Racing setups on social media, on Facebook, all kinds of different things. So good stuff. Right now, lap 67, going to be a couple of laps away from the end of stage 2. And so far, knock on wood, the stream seems to be good. So I think what caused it was going to commercial, and then for some reason, maybe Streamlabs just had too much power going through it. I don't know how to word that, but we're going to hold off on the commercials for now, just to make sure that that's not the variable. If it happens again, all the blinkiness, then we know it's not necessarily Streamlabs. So frustrating stuff, folks, but we're going to get this thing going for sure. Twos right here going to be happening at the start-finish line. And there's our fantastic partners right there on the tower. Brandon 6. Uh-oh, Tyler Dohar. Not quite deciding. Devin Smecker, middle of the track. Come on now, boys. All good. Here we go. Lap 68, going to be on lap 69. Going to go back green. 6 laps to go here to end stage 2. Going to be good stuff. Almost at the halfway point of this race. Appreciate you folks for sticking it through. A lot of good racing still on tap. Here we go, though. Lap 69. You know what happens on lap 69, right? We go back green flag racing. Here we go. Geico restart zone. Hagan and Brady, the leaders for both lines. Here we go. Green flag. Is it back out? 6 laps to go for stage 2. Really good stuff right now. Everyone's trying to fight for those stage points right now. Seeing 3 wide for the lead. Max Brady on the outside lane, up against the wall. Man, does he make it happen? He's right there. Uh-oh, big wreck in the back. Austin Salyers, who else is that? I believe that might be on the back wall right there. Lordy. Okay, Michael Klein right here. Hold the brake, sir. In the 99 right there. And that'll be at 8th caution. They did cross the line for lap 70. There we go. Getting official word right now. Max Brady is going to be your stage 2 winner. Got the pass right at the last second there. And John Hagan going to be finishing P2. So Max Brady, your stage 1 winner. There he is. Good stuff for Max Brady. We didn't talk to Brendan 6 earlier as the stage 1 winner, so we'll try and get him in just a second. But Max Brady, good stuff being your stage winner. Everyone, though, going to come down pit road. Going to take those new tires. The whole world going to come down pit road right here. And again, so as I was saying earlier, I really have a feeling that a couple of these guys, probably more than I'd like to admit, probably didn't take tires right there in stage 2, right? They probably took tires, you know, at the end of stage 1. But then for stage 2, they might have saved a set for later on in the race. You only have 4 sets of tires over the wall. So as a driver, I really like the idea of saving a set for stage 3, right? And I've got a feeling that definitely happened. A lot of these guys are setting themselves up to win the race, but also get the stage points, right? So that can happen too. Tyler Dohar going to be your leader right now in P1. Miller in P2. James Kaufman in 3rd spot. Mealy P4. Grant Salzano in P5. So far, really, really good stuff. See if we can squeak in real quick Max Brady. Where's Max? Here he is. All right, there he is, Max Brady. Let's bring him in. My apologies. I'm trying to find him here. Where's old Max Brady? Aha, there he is. Let's bring him in. Max Brady, here he is. Stage 2 winner, man. Looking good so far. Has a fast car for sure. Made your way up to the front after the qualifying. And man, how's the car going so far? How's the race going for you?
Well, you know, the race has been pretty interesting. I messed up my qualifying lap. I tend to do that a lot. So I started in the back, and I got in a wreck on pit road before the race even started. So the first stage, I was kind of just conserving my engine because I got a lot of front end damage and I was overheating. So I got all that fixed. Just picked my way up through the field there, that whole second stage, and got the stage win, which was great. And then we came down pit road, and I pit, and then there's just so many cars in the field. I think there's 43 of us that I was coming out of pit road, and I went to avoid somebody and got tapped a little bit and then sped. So
Okay.
that was unfortunate. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But you know, I started the race in the back, so I guess we'll start again in the back.
I mean, you still have more than halfway to go still in this race. Hopefully the second half of the race calms down just a bit. I think we expected some urgency in the first half of the race, especially for stage points. And also the fresh tires seem to be an issue. They're pretty loose. Maybe you can talk about that. But yeah, but either way, long green flag runs hopefully in our future right now. But either way, man, good stuff. P2 or P1 winner for stage 2. Good luck, dude.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, the car's definitely sketchy on new tires, but it should be all right.
All right, man. Good luck, dude.
Appreciate it.
There he is, Max Brady, stage 2 winner. Brandon 6 was our stage 1 winner. If we get another caution, we'll try and ring up Brandon 6. But also, I don't want to distract guys too much if we get later on in the race. So we'll see how that goes. But either way, lap 74. Since the caution came out earlier, normally right now is when we'd be ending stage 2, but 75 will be when we start stage 3. So here we go. Brand new stage. Half the race still to go. Dohar and Miller and up front. The green flag is back out. Kaufman up front too. A couple of guys in the front that aren't normally in the front. Millerin, Kaufman. A lot of these guys right here are going to try and fight to get themselves into that front spot. And man, good stuff. We saw just in stage 1, right? Up and down, high line, low line, really worked out. The middle lane, though, was pretty well dangerous. So far, good stuff. Miller up high right now, 3 wide. John Hagan going to tag each other. Mark Whitley right there as well in the middle. Sometimes these boys don't know when they're 3 wide, and Miller definitely is. Saw Nick Lightsford there get loose. Saved it though. Still 3 wide. We're going to watch this action right here. Millerin and Hagen. Still really tight. Oh, my word. Long way to go, folks. Mark Whitley smartly backs off a little bit, looks like. Again, still halfway to go. You don't want to push too hard. Hagen gets loose right there. A little bit jolty. Looking good so far. Back in the front, Tyler Dohar. Looking good. James Kaufman. Where did James Kaufman come from? Look at him. In P2 of the number 25. Looking very, very good. Love to see that right there. Dohar making a good move. Millerin and those boys figured it out. Uh-oh, Matthew Pont, I believe it was. Saw him in the grass right there for a second. In the number 1. A couple of guys middle of the pack. Dylan Bates as well as Grant Salzano back in shape now. Both of these guys had issues earlier on. But now, they're looking pretty good. Damage is all fixed. They're back into the race. So far, so good. Whoa, Josh Larson around in the front stretch right here. Hit the wall pretty hard. Actually, it doesn't even look like he has any damage, which is crazy. Okay, has some damage for sure. Can't quite see it just yet, but can't tell if the tires are a little bit. Oh yeah, front end has some damage for sure. Let's go back and take a look. It looks like it was definitely Jacob Weist involved. Josh Larson as well. So Larson right here going to be coming out of turn. This is 3 and 4. Matthew Pont. Maybe does it get attached to him? No. Oh, he does. Yeah, these two come together here. Hard to really tell, to be honest, if Larson comes down or if Pont comes up, but hits the wall here decently hard. Yeah, definitely. Weist has nowhere to go, unfortunately. Gets himself into the wall too, just by getting tagged right there, but don't believe Weist endures any more damage here. We'll take a look though. Yeah, tough break for that 60. But that can definitely happen. Close racing. Bunch of more guys coming down pit road right here. Dohar, Johnson, Daryl Young, Andrew Phipps. A lot of these guys we haven't talked about yet just because they've been kind of mired in the back, but everyone is working their strategy. James Kaufman right now inherits the lead, so great job right there. The chat thinks 54 came down, which, hey, I'll let you make the call, but all good. Right now, James Kaufman, the leader. John Hagen second, Miller in third. Blaze Crawford fourth, Mark Whitley in P5. So far, we've been crossing our fingers, and so far the stream has been pretty good. So I've got a funny feeling. Again, we're not going to go to any commercials rest of the stream. I don't want to shut it off again and reset the stream. That's, quite frankly, a pain in the ass. So we're not going to do that. But so our partners will understand. And hey, we have them all plastered on top of the tower as well as the left side. So I'll keep talking about them because they deserve it. But good stuff right now. So right now, James Kaufman going to be your leader. Back at the field, too. A couple of updates. Tim Robb is back on track right now. Looking pretty good after some damage earlier on. Has some left side damage, but really the front end's looking pretty good. So don't expect him to have a whole lot of issues as we keep going. So far, so good. Right now, the field is choosing at the front. As we see. Oh, boy. 51. That's the issue about choosing your lane, but choosing it too late, is that you come down into the driver that is already in that lane. So, single file. Either way, we're going to get this thing back going right now. Lap 84. Going to be green on lap 85. So a little bit past the halfway point now. Again, we expect these guys to have to pit twice under green flag conditions, so we'll see how that works as we go here. But as we get this thing going real quick, let's ride on board Nick Lights in that machine. Let's try it again. The Hosky hot lap as we restart. Green flag is back out, and right now we're riding on board Nick Lights for the Hosky hot lap. See how he navigates turns 1 and 2 in this first lap under green flag conditions. Looking down low right here, thought about it, didn't want to go 3 wide. Still remains down low right here, going to be in 3rd spot, passing James Kaufman on the outside lane. And now going to go for that top spot. Miller and up and head. We know how fast Nick Lights is, and he's going to make a move right here. 3 and 4 wide behind. And as we saw it, in the rearview mirror of Nick Lights, we saw a couple of guys get bounced around over there. Mark Whitley was one. Yeah, man, yeah, really well beat up car right there. As well as the car in front, I believe that's Kyle. Kevin Kyle, my apologies. But yeah, big wreck right there. Mark Whitley perhaps done for the day. Maybe even Kyle as well. Zelazny has the front end damage still. Matthew Pont, Scott Casorn has front end damage. Lordy. Let's go back real quick if we can. See if we can find where it actually happened, because a lot went down right there, so we will find it. Yeah, already went down. We'll go back a little bit. We'll find it for sure. Okay, I'm going to want to get a bigger view right here, just because a lot went down. So we're seeing up ahead. So Mark Whitley right here. Jackson Anderson in that blue car, and then the bright red one on the outside, the 25, James Kaufman. Dylan Bates right here as well is down low. Oh, Kaufman hits the wall right there. Kind of squeezes everyone down low. Yeah, and then Anderson Whitley kind of saves it right there, but then Anderson just couldn't save it. And then all into the wall right there. Obviously, we're having some blinking issues again, but you can kind of make it out. But man, yeah, just a super unfortunate mess right there for a lot of those guys. Hate to see that. So Anderson, our Daytona winner from last week, got involved again right there. You can see his car getting worked on. A couple more guys as well. Sobel. Griffith right here, and that number 15 has some damage to the front end. Yeah, Whitley as well going to try and fix that damage. Kevin Cobb, we saw that was pretty well beat up. Man. Yeah, just a big mess right there, but that can happen. We've seen a lot of these guys today hit the wall off of, especially turn 4. So a lot of these guys hitting the wall off of turn 4, bouncing it into a guy next to him. But then in a case like that, right, where Kaufman hits the wall entering turn 1 and just kind of sandwiches the guys below him. So at the end of the day, it's just driver error, right? I mean, it's not like, you know, it's intense racing for sure, but, you know, it's also the small mistakes, you know, overdriving a corner, or being too tight, right, on exit, you know, getting yourself into the wall, you know, yeah, it might hurt you because you bounce off the wall, but now you're bouncing into guys who are next to you. So definitely tough, but one small mistake can definitely make a big mess, and that is what we saw right there. So either way, John Hagen up front still, Millerin in P2, Nick Lights in 3rd, James Kaufman 4th, then Blaze Crawford going to be in P5. So a bunch of guys looking pretty good still. Again, long way to go. About, what is that, 90 laps to go here. Once we go back green. But yeah, we went to that Hosky hot lap, and man, woof, was good for about a lap, and then until it wasn't. So we're gonna definitely leave all the graphics off the stream for now. The more I think about it, the more it seems like Streamlabs OBS, which is what I use to stream the actual broadcast, seems like it's an issue on that side. So not sure what it could be. Our settings haven't changed, I mean, really since last season. So couldn't quite tell you what it was, but we're gonna do some test streams this week and really kind of figure it out. So bare bones for now, so that you guys can all see the racing product, but we'll get it worked out, I promise. John Hagen, though, up front in P1, Miller in P2, Nick Lights 3rd, Crawford, and then Kaufman. Bates, Brady 6, Mealy, and Fleming rounding out your top 10. So good stuff so far. Again, huge thanks to Premier Setup Shop for today's race, the broadcast, the broadcast sponsor, as well as the actual setups they're using on track. So good stuff right now. But here we go. We're going to go green flag racing, lap 91. 70 laps to go as we get back going. John Hagen, great restart right there. Nick Lights as well. Everyone else behind him. James Kaufman on the down low on the inside. Max Brady might try and make a move here on the inside to go 3 wide. Does not. Kaufman still there in the middle. Oh boy, James Kaufman does it again. Has Joseph Mealy on the inside going through the grass. Holds on to it, man. Joseph Mealy, great recovery there. They keep it going. Was involved in wreck earlier, but maintains it right there. Good stuff. Right behind him, though, pretty intense racing. Brandon Bowie, Thomas George. All right there. Highline, we have Daryl Young and also Josh Larson, who's made a comeback here, back onto the track, currently in P22. So not a bad job after a hard hit on the front stretch. Really good racing all the way around this track right now. All kinds of drivers. Nick Lights, change it for the lead in P1. Good stuff for Nick to get that lead away from John Hagen. Blaze Crawford not too far back either, but look at this battle right here for 5th. These guys fighting pretty hard. Dylan Bates right there and Millerin. Good stuff. Side by side, Dylan Bates right there kind of tags the door of Millerin. Not sure what that's about, but gotta be careful with that stuff. See right there, it gets tight. Doors to 10. Got to drive these corners the right way. A couple of guys doing really well, though. Right here, Shane Wyatt filling in for Jesse Necula in that 51. Had an issue earlier on, but again, recovering well. Brandon 6, stage 1 winner, as well as Max Brady, kind of side by side here for P7 and 8. Looking really good. Bates and Millerin still on each other's doors. Door banging a little bit. That's not what you want to see, right? We get that it's hard racing, but woof. Let's calm it down just a little bit. Now we see some separation. And there we go. Fleming on the outside line, trying to make a move. Big shove right there into his teammate, Max Brady. A couple of guys, though, doing some work. Max Brady going to try the inside lane now of Dylan Bates. Good stuff. This is all for about P5 through 10 right here. All these guys really making a maneuver. Austin Salyers right now in P13, up 21 spots in the day. And man, he was involved in an earlier wreck that was pretty bad. Right now finds himself in that 13th spot, so pretty good stuff. Brandon Bowie in 16th, right behind his teammate Michael Johnson. Daryl Young looking pretty good, P17 actually right now. And he likes this place quite a bit, and so far he's avoided all of the issues, right? And that can be massive. Joseph Mealy as well, right behind him, trying to recover after that contact with James Kaufman. Awesome racing right now on lap 99, coming to lap 100 very, very soon. I believe Bowie had a moment right there a second ago with Kenny Reel and Daryl Young. Bowie making the outside lane work, though, pretty well. Joseph Mealy in that Diva Q machine. Love that kind of throwback to Jeff Gordon paint scheme. Looking really sharp right there. One guy coming down pit road. I believe it's Millerin. Here he is. Coming down pit road right here. Early pit stop. Maybe his first pit stop of the day. In stage 3. Going to come down. Assuming he takes 4 tires and fuel. Car gets lifted up. There he is. So one down already. 60 laps to go. Nick Light's going to be your leader right now. Looking very, very dominant so far. We've seen some different lead changes and definitely a good amount of guys who can win this race. So far, Nick Light's doing a great job. John Hagen, though, as well. Really, really fast. Blaze Crawford, the same as well. But again, track position is just so key. You got to be really good about it. Hold on to it when you have it. Dylan Bates, Matthew Fleming right now battling for 4th and 5th. A lot of these guys starting to really spread out now, which is kind of the goal. Why stage 3 is so long. Just long green flag racing. And once we start to see green flag pit stops and things, then things really get spread out. The field gets spread out more. Less chance of contact and wrecks and things like that. So knock on wood, but I've got a funny feeling we'll see some great green flag racing at this time. John Hagen going to try and make a move here on the outside lane. Still hold on to it. Traditionally, the high line here is fast, but with this setup, the inside lane really is preferred, as we see one guy in the grass here. Who's this? Shane Wyatt gets through. Man, what a great recovery. Wow, what happened with Shane Wyatt? Take a look back real fast if we can. Yeah, just kind of comes up too high in front of Brandon 6. Drives through the grass. Not sure if that was... But just close contact either way. Holds on to it, but falls back to P23, so has to get back to where he was. Awesome job holding on to that race car, though. Nick Light's finding himself in trouble here. John Hagen. Neck and neck battle. Looking really sharp, though, in that 81 and the 2. The Cardano machine on the outside lane. This might open it up, though, for Blaze Crawford. He's right there as well. You can't count him out. Lap 104. And really, it's a top 3 shootout. These 3 guys are really kind of by themselves. Dylan Bates a little bit further back. Matthew Fleming in tow. But that top 3 right now is extremely quick, as we're seeing it. But we should definitely be seeing green flag pit stops here shortly. Potentially within the next 5 or 10 laps, if my math is correct, because they can really only go about 30 laps under green flag conditions for fuel. So we should be seeing that here very, very soon. Daryl Young right now, P11. What a run for him. Super good. Blaze Crawford actually makes a move here for Nick Lights. Bit of a slide job there. That's going to be for P2 for Blaze. Looking good. Battle change right here. 2 teammates, Andrew Phipps, Brandon Bowie side by side. Both similar paint schemes as well. Gremlins cards. I believe they're available on eBay. I've been meaning to go and check them out because I'm very curious, but cool stuff right there. Good looking paint schemes. Good stuff all around. So lap 107, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this race. We know they've got to pit at least once more. And again, I believe twice more. Nick Lights. Oh no, spins out. I believe he tried to come down pit road. He was. Man, spins out coming down to his pit stop. Mealy as well. Already on pit road. So we're going to see green flag pit stops beginning now. And that could be big. So far, good stuff, though. Big thanks to you folks for sticking it out. I know we've had our issues, but we're going to work it out, folks. Matthew Fleming, Max Brady comes down pit road. A couple of flagship motorsport drivers. Shane White, after his spin out in the grass, but kept it going. There he comes. Here comes the leader, John Hagan, down pit road, as well as Blaze Crawford. Everyone comes down pit road. The leaders, this will definitely bring in a lot of these guys. Julio Villalobos comes down right now. Excuse me, there he is right there. John Hagan as well. Bunch of guys taking those 4 tires and fuel. And right now it's lap 110. They can go 30 more laps on this fuel. So we're going to expect these leaders, if it goes back green the entire way, to pit around lap 140. Let's keep that number in mind as we get this thing going. Brandon 6 comes down pit road right now. There he is, Medina on pit road, the number 9, Flem Dogs machine. Looking pretty good. Austin Salyers in the 19 inherits the lead right now on lap 111. Nobody else coming down on pit road just yet. We're seeing a couple of the leaders doing that, though, so we know those guys can go until about lap 140. Everyone here so far, the longer this goes, the better for them. I don't think, though, that anybody can make it until lap 130. If they can most likely make it the rest of the way on one stop, but I don't think they can, so we'll see how that ends up momentarily. A couple of drivers are here battling. Kenny Reel, Josh Larson. Larson, really, really good recovery after a hard race so far. P9, looking pretty good. Devin Smecker, P12, holding it down to the number 26, doing a good job. Try and get some close-ups here of these great paint schemes. There it is, dripdrops.io. Love that right there. A couple of guys on the tail end of the lead lap. So as you can see on the tower, top 15. We'll expand that right there. That way you can see where your favorite driver is. A couple of guys, though. Look at this. Timothy Stubblefield, after a big wreck. Oh, man, got loose right there. Crashed into his teammate Dylan Bates after a wreck. Hashtag Stub Nation on the back of it. Love that. But has that car back in shape. Looking pretty good. Scott Gasorn. Quick update on a couple of these guys right now in P30. Looking pretty good. Marshall Harris holding on to a 30-second spot right here. Greg Robinson. Car looking pretty clean, but finds himself down low. Mark Whitley. Bunch of guys here out of the race, unfortunately, that are down and out, but that can happen. Very eventful first half of the race. Big moments right here. John Hagan. Again, these guys have their fresh tires, so they're going to try and get through. Andrew Phipps comes down pit road now, too. Got to slow it down. Looks like he might be okay. Tim Robb, though, holding it down. A lot of these guys, this is kind of the nice thing about a long race, right? Is that they can really take the time to repair the damage, especially if you have a lot of cautions, right? You can fix the car under yellow flag conditions, get back out, you know. Another yellow comes out, you can fix it then too. So a lot of these guys have had that time to do it. Austin Salyer, still your leader. Thomas George, P2, Brandon Bowie in third spot. Daryl Young in P5. Tim Robb in fifth place. So great stuff right here. And again, no more guaranteed cautions, no more stages. We are in stage 3. Quickly approaching 40 laps remaining in this race. So far, excellent racing. A lot of these guys, I'm really impressed by a few guys. Austin Salyers right now, yes, he still has to pit, but right now is getting some laps, right? Some laps led, some TV time. Take a look at that paint scheme. Has Miami on the car. Look at that. Miami Heat paint scheme, actually. Looking pretty sick. The good stuff there. Brandon Bowie, obviously P2. A lot of guys have different strategies, though, right? I mean, we talked about it earlier. Different tires. Daryl Young comes down pit road. Lordy. That transition is so tough, but man, Daryl does a great job by holding on to that car. Comes down and off he goes. Larson comes down pit road now too. There he is. Gonna service that car. But green flag pit stops are well underway, and you can really tell how much different the strategies are, right? Because a lot of these guys, we saw maybe 10, 15 guys perhaps pitting about 9 laps ago, almost 10 laps ago. Your leader right now, Austin Salyers, comes down pit road. Brandon Bowie as well. As well as Sobel. Seeing Marshall Harris. Devin Smacker comes down. One driver, the 29, Lord have mercy on me. Gregory Robinson misses pit road, then cuts across, gets onto the track. I believe that will be a penalty because he entered in pit road after the commitment cone, so he might get a penalty there, but that can happen, folks. You got to slow it down. Get onto pit road. A couple more guys here. Kenny Reel on pit road. Thomas George. Michael Johnson. Tim Robb. So these guys, basically the other half of the field, they can go 10 more laps than the rest of the field. So that's going to be interesting to see how this thing ends if we stay green. Everyone, though, comes down pit road. The 4 tires in field going in. Jacob Weist as well. There he is after the wreck earlier. Inheriting the lead is Tyler Dohar. Coming down pit road now, potentially? Question mark. Nope, does not. Going to be staying out. Leads that lap, which is great. That'll give him that 1 extra bonus point. Brandon Bowie going to be right there as well, getting his lap back. And a lot of drivers coming down. This is kind of the idea, folks, that we had for this season, right? We expected some cautions early on in the race, right? Because there's a lot of urgency. You know, stages, stage points, things like that. But the second half of the race, really more than half the race, is geared towards there's nothing. It's just green flag racing. And minimal, green flag pit stops, right? 50% fuel, so you have to come down pit road a couple times and get the tires, get the fuel. So this is exactly what we wanted to see. So far, very good racing. Second half of this race. If that front half can clean up, I'll tell you what, we've got a banger of a race today. But so far, good stuff, but just a lot of different strategies, as we've seen. Dohar now coming down pit road, your leader. So he'll be surrendering that P1. Grant Salzano, after an eventful day himself, will now be the leader as they cross. John Hagan as well going to be in P2. Crawford right behind in P3. So a lot of good stuff right here. Tim Robb as well. Michael Johnson, Joshua Sobel. Top 20 all on the lead lap. Here comes Grant Salzano again. He gives up that lead right now, and then John Hagan comes back and will re-inherit the lead. So again, these are the guys right here. Hagan, Crawford, Six, Brady. These are the guys that pit on lap 110 just about. So these guys have to pit in about 15 laps. But if a caution comes out, lap 130 or so, at that point, everyone comes down and everybody can make it on fuel. So it just depends, right? Like, what do you do? If you're a John Hagan right now or a Crawford, when you pit in about 14 laps, what do you do? Do you take the 4 tires? You probably have to, because you've got, at that point, 20 laps to go. But if you're one of these guys, like a Brandon Bowie, a Phipps perhaps, the guys who were pitting, just a couple laps ago, right? I don't know that you take tires. Maybe you do. Maybe you take just right side tires, because you don't have that much time to go, and you'll probably have a gap, to those guys who have to pit. So a lot can happen, but either way, John Hagan, Blaze Crawford, Dylan Bates, they've all put themselves into position to make it work, and different strategies can offer that. So far, really, really impressed by how the race has shaped up. Awesome stuff. John Hagan, I'll tell you what, John Hagan's a guy who last season at Darlington, man, got it ripped away from him, unfortunately. 2 laps to go in that race. Man, had a caution come out. He had a dominant lead too. He was pretty well far out, and just didn't have, or had a yellow come out, green, white, checkered flag, the whole deal. Ended up losing it based on that. So heartbreak loss for him there, but I'll tell you what, he has an opportunity to make it happen today in Kansas. We'll see if he can do just that. Right now, though, Josh Larson as well, right behind him. Larson currently in 28th spot, so trying to get himself back on the lead lap. Has his teammate right there in Blaze Crawford. So good stuff. Flagship Motorsports is separated by 2 teams. So Flagship Motorsports and then Flem Dogs. These guys are on each one of them respectively. So, but either way, still teammates per se. Looks like we're seeing Larson trying to give Blaze a bit of a push there. I'm not sure if that's trying to help him to get around Hagan, but it looks like it might be. Crawford could be there. Man, he is so close. 30 laps to go, though, in the Premier Setup Shop 240. Again, folks, huge thanks to all the sponsors here tonight. Premier Setup Shop, Harpoon Design Racing, Admin Box, Battle Beaver, Hosky.io, Cardano.io. A lot of great people. Ooh, Crawford into the wall right there. It looks like, it looks like Crawford's trying to get a push here from Larson, but he just can't quite make it happen. Either way, Fleming in P6, Lights in P7. Trying to get himself back to the front here after a good race so far. Bowie up to P9. Nick Lights comes down pit road here. Here we go. This seems kind of early for Nick Lights. I believe he was one of the ones who came down on lap 110. So it looks like now that he knows he can go the rest of the way, the fuel window is open. So he's coming down pit road. It's a bold call, but I like it. Villalobos as well comes down pit road. Might see a couple more guys doing this because he's going to get lapped right now, but if it goes green, this could help him. Max Brady all the way back up to P5. We saw him talk about his penalty earlier where he had a drive-through for speeding in pit road, but right now doing a great job by being up to P4. So awesome stuff. Blaze Crawford comes down pit road. Here we go. Exactly, yeah. In the chat, Matt Pont was in this race, unfortunately out of it, I believe, and yeah, about 30 laps is that fuel, so we expected to see, you know, these guys who came in earlier about lap 110, you know, come in around lap 140, but they're all coming in early, and I kind of like that move because now they know they can make it on fuel. I feel like they can kind of control their destiny just a little bit better, whereas about half this field has to pit about lap 150. So, you know, what do you do, right? Do you bank on a caution or do you bank on the green flag ends? We'll see. Either way, John Hagen out to a great jump right now. Brandon Six. Oh, actually, John Hagen comes down pit road. Here he is. Has to slow it down. That looked pretty fast, but we will see. Brandon Six now, though, inherits the lead. And he's Brandon Six, I'm not gonna lie, he's not normally a kind of guy who's you know, quiet, right, in his racing. But he is back up to P1. Looking pretty sharp as we see. So a lot of guys coming down pit road. Dylan Bates, Fleming, Kaufman, Max Brady as well. Ooh, only lefts, I think, for Brady, unless we caught that on the tail end. Interesting call there. Good stuff. Brandon Six now comes down pit road. We knew he had to come down as well. Brandon Bowie going to be your leader. 24 laps to go right now. We know Bowie and all these guys still have to pit. Just a matter of when, right? Do they wait for the yellow flag? Do they come down now? Now that the field window's open? Bowie might be coming in now because he wouldn't normally be letting Austin Salyers by, but I take that back. He does, so might be trying to save some more fuel or save those tires as well, right? Maybe he's not going to go for fuel, or tires, excuse me. He'll go for just fuel, but we'll find out. Shane Wyatt comes off. There he is. Joseph Mealy. There he is. A lot of these guys, I'll tell you what, a lot of recovery races for these guys. This is one of those races that, for a lot of these guys, you just have to kind of get through it, right? You just have to kind of, you know, feel it out, because they can be long, right? And sometimes, you know, to get yourself in that championship 12, it just comes down to kind of enduring the hard races. And for a good handful of guys tonight, this is a hard race for them. You know, got into a wreck, had to, you know, fix some damage again, maybe. You know, so a lot of the time it can be about the attrition. Oh no, yellow flag comes out. Who is this? I don't see anybody on track that is out of shape. Try and take a look here. I'm not sure what went down. I don't see anybody off track, or I don't see any normally our system alerts us if we have somebody going around, but what happened here? We'll try and find it, folks. Yeah, try and see if anybody's around to... Oh, right there, Anderson, I believe that is. Is that who that is? Jackson Anderson potentially spins out coming to pit road. We'll take a look. So here he comes, going to be diving down to below, I believe this time right here. Maybe hits the apron awkwardly. We'll find out. Happens next lap, of course. We'll give it one more go. My bad. Yeah, it looks like... Of course. Come on. Yeah, okay, there it is. So Anderson just hits that apron the wrong way coming down pit road and yeah, just spins it out. Interesting why iRacing threw the yellow, to be honest, because he was never really stopped. He was sideways, I guess, which does sometimes trigger that. But man, yeah, bad luck for our Daytona 250 winner from last week. Rough race so far, and right there brings out the yellow. So not good. Trying to come down pit road. That can happen, though. We saw a lot of these guys spinning out or getting damn close to it coming down pit road. So I guess it might have been bound to happen. But either way, a lot of these guys, this changes a lot of things. Because right now, man, a lot of guys already pit, right? You think about, you know, Hagan and Nick Lights, right? Those guys pit about 10 laps ago. And now we're seeing a lot of these guys, you know, Jacob Weist right now, Sobel. A lot of guys who just pit, right? And now they're finding themselves, you know, having to come down again. So definitely a tough pill to swallow. This will definitely get the field back up going. But, man, everyone who didn't pit yet, that's going to be huge for them. But looking at the field right now, Brandon Bowie is scored as the leader. And right when that caution was happening, Bowie was coming down pit road. So I'm not sure if he'll be black flagged for that. We'll definitely have to find out, because that timing might have been perfect for him. If he was able to come down pit road, but also maintain the lead. Actually, you know what? No. I'm seeing him kind of slow down here and letting people by. So I don't think he might have caught in that at the right time. Basically what happens, folks, if a yellow flag comes out, you can't come down pit road immediately. You'll get black flagged for it. Now, it kind of makes sense for Bowie to, you know, if you have to like avoid the wreck or whatnot, you can come down pit road, they can clear the black flag. But all kinds of things can change. But right now, 19 laps to go. Man, big changes right here. There's the race day sponsors for race day and ASRA. Big shout out to all these guys, Premier Racing Setups, folks. Go and check them out on social media, on X, on all kinds of platforms, their website as well. Fantastic folks. Really impressed so far by their setups. I mean, I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but man, I loved the setup. And we know, I know for sure that, like, hey, that, you know, on the restarts, they were going to be loose, especially on fresh tires. And again, it just comes down to knowing the setup, knowing the car, knowing your comfort level, right? And then not overdriving it too early. Let those tires heat up and then go for it. Either way, though, different crowd up front. Look at this. Austin Salyers, Andrew Phipps, Daryl Young, Michael Johnson, Tim Robb in the top 5. Holy! With 18 laps to go, who can get this thing done? Let's get it. Austin Salyers, Phipps. Green flag about to be back out in the air. And there it is. Green flag back out. Good stuff so far. Look at this. Kenny Reel in the outside lane. Look at Thomas George going to try and sneak it in middle right there. 3 wide. Trying to go for that win. Oh, George, hold on to her. Drifted kind of high right there. Uh-oh, in the back. There he is. William Griffith, fenders flying, keeps it going straight. No yellow just yet. Pull it down off the apron, or onto the apron. Hey, good stuff right there. Unfortunate big hit for William Griffith, but keeps it off the track. A yellow flag, though, out in the air. Why is that? Oh, no, it might have been Stubblefield again. Yeah, that front end's really well damaged. Let's go back. We thought it was maybe for Griffith, but potentially might have been somebody else. Now I'm being told it's Grant Salzano. See if we can find out here. Oh, man. Yeah, the 51. Oh, a big wreck actually happened. Let's go back a little bit. Find out. Get a better angle here. Oh, the 92 gets loose. You can see him right there sideways. It gets into Grant. And then going to get into Shane Wyatt right there. Yeah, big hit again for the 92. Grant's getting nowhere to go. Really, the 51 has nowhere to go either. Kind of just there, unfortunately. Looks like that might have been it. We saw, I believe that was Wiest who snuck through. Oh, no, Miller, I believe. I think he was fine getting through the damage, but yeah, a lot of these guys got into it. So, again, another culprit of loose conditions, right? And I hate to keep preaching on it, but it's like, man, we know the tires are cold and they're loose initially, right? So, knowing that, you got to kind of pull it back a bit for the first couple laps until they warm up. But we're not doing that tonight, so, but that can happen. Grant Salzano, again, a lot of these guys on pit road. Max Brady as well. Not a bad time here to take the fuel, take the tires, fix the damage if you have any, right? But, man, right now you really want to be in the front with that track position. And that timing of the yellow really worked out well. I mean, we're seeing Austin Salyers in P1 right now. This would be, I mean, astronomically huge of a win for him. Daryl Young, you know, we know how good he is on super speedways, and here he is right here in P2 at Kansas. So, again, just finding yourself in the right positions at the right time. And, man, Daryl Young really taking advantage of that. Awesome stuff. Andrew Phipps, another guy, right? Hasn't won in this series yet, but has gotten so close. I think of Atlanta last season. Man, he was about a lap away, super quick. Finished P2, I believe it was. And Michael Johnson right there as well. You know, came up P2 quite a bit of times last season. Man, that'd be a huge win for him if he can get this thing done. Tim Robb, who last season was kind of my underdog for the entire season. He's very, very fast. Got involved in a lot of bad luck, but I think he's a guy who as well can get the job done if given the circumstance, right? Thomas George, same kind of guy, very fast, just needs that opportunity. And then Devin Smecker right now, we know how fast he is. He can win races. And hasn't quite had the race so far that he's wanted, right? But he's there. He's in P7. He's got the tires. He's got the fuel. So what can you do with it, right? Tyler Dohar, a guy who I said earlier, brand new to the series. Man, killer fast. Very good pickup for the Harpoon Design Racing team. And again, today could be the day, right? P8 right now, looking strong. Kenny Reel in P11. I'm sorry, P9 in the 11. And again, consistent job right now. Hasn't won a race yet, but could be knocking on that door. Then David Medina to round out the top 10. He's right there as well. So a lot can happen. A lot of new guys in the front of the field, and we love to see that. But eventful race, which we expected. And so far, the stream has held on. So I've got a feeling now, folks. I know what the issue is. So we're going to get that fixed in the week or during the week. So again, I apologize for the shenanigans during stage 2, and also the restart of the stream. But either way, it'll be a 2-part stream, and that's fine. But appreciate your patience, folks. Appreciate just the grace you give me for making sure we can give you the best products we can. So we're going to get it figured out. And right now we're going to figure out this race, the Premier Racing Setups 240 here in Kansas. Keep in mind also too, one thing, bit of a shocker. This is also a Dash for Cash qualifying race. Next week at Homestead is our Dash for Cash feature race. So basically all that means is the top 4 at the end of this race will be the Dash for Cash 4 drivers for next week. So little side narrative, but here we go. Salyers and Phipps on the front row. 12 laps to go, 11 to the line. Green flag is back out, back underway. Oh boy, can't be doing that. 3, 4, 5 wide. Brandon 6 gonna go around here. Huge wreck. And that might be the big one here at Kansas. A lot of guys getting through that wreck, but man, a lot of guys also did not have a good time through that. Brandon 6 got involved as well, I believe it was. Kaufman out as well, potentially. Shane Wyatt, yes, as well. We'll go back. I believe it started off with David Medina. But man, tough break right there. I believe Larson and Bowie as well might have crashed. Let's go back and find out. So here we go. We're going to be on board Medina if we can find him real fast. I mean, yeah, I've already seen it. Crawford, Sobel 6 right there as well. Gets pretty well into it. This is kind of the aftermath of what actually happened. But man, yeah, tough situation. Some blinky blink right there, obviously, because of, I'm guessing, just everything going on at once. But man, tough. Try and get a better angle here, and we'll go back a little further, find out what actually happened. So from the chopper cam, we'll try and ride on board with Medina if we can. I believe it happened right around. So yeah, right now we're 4 wide. Nick Light's trying to send it in 4 wide right here. Medina gets a little loose or drove it in too high. Contact with the 12 of Blaze Crawford as well as Brandon 6. Sobel as well. Medina actually gets through this. But man, right here, a lot of these guys checking up to avoid it, but obviously, unfortunately, got involved with it as well. Larson, I'm seeing Villalobos. Brandon 6, Crawford, Bowie, Millerin. All kinds of guys right here. So a big mess right now with 9 to go. 11th caution of the race. For incident, the other 2 are for stages. So far, so good, folks. Man, 8 laps to go right now. And the thing is, right, this is huge news for people like, Austin Salyers, Daryl Young, Tim Robb, Thomas Joy, right? Anybody up here, right? The more cautions that we get, and the thing is, right, it's unfortunate that we even had the caution because we had a super long green flag run that was really nice. And, that's going to happen, right? Like, a caution will happen. And Jackson Anderson got loose coming down to pit road. That's part of the thing. It's part of the deal. But man, right now, yeah, cautions breed cautions, as we know, and this is what might happen. Hopefully, once we go back green here, we'll see some green flag racing until the end. We'll go back green, about 6 laps to go here, so we'll see. We do get 3 green-white checkered flag attempts at the end of this race, so if we need them, we'll explain it to you. But right now, we're going to find out what we can do about the end of this thing, but all good. Chat. Too funny. Here we go, though. Choose time. Picking what they want. Everyone here. So far, so good. Oh, good. They've gotten better and better throughout the race with that choose rule, so good stuff. So right now, folks, the Premier Setup Shop 240 are going to be winding down. 6 laps to go here at the line. So what can these guys do, man? I'll tell you what, if anybody in this top, 8, the only person in the top 8 who's won in ASRA race before has been Daryl Young. And that was the 2 back-to-back Talladega races last season and then the season before. So, you know, Daryl Young's going for his first non-Super Speedway win, but everybody else in that top 8 is going for their first ever ASRA Cup Series win ever. So this is insane. This is really cool to see. Jackson Anderson pulled it off, a first-time winner last week at Daytona. Can we get the same thing here today in Kansas? Here we go. Pace car pulls off. We're going to have 6 laps to go right now, folks, to decide this race. Here we go. Salyers and Rob up front. Will we see some patience? Will we see some more yellows? We'll find out. But man, Austin Salyers, a great jump right there in P1. Oh no, who's that to the wall? Jeez. Super heavy. Oh no, Thomas George, a couple more guys. Tim Robb, Dylan Bates. Tim Robb and Thomas George, both right there in that top 5 or 6, really, in that top 8 we were just talking about. Just couldn't hold on to it. Andrew Phipps as well. Oh no. Man, just more heartbreak for these guys who are trying to go for their first win. Let's go back once more and take a look. It started up front for sure, but we'll definitely find out where it happens. Try and get a good view here. I believe it started. Yeah, so Tim Robb. Yeah, really the top like 3rd, 4th, and 5th really is where it happens. We'll go back once more, a little bit further. But man, you just hate to see it, you know? I mean, you don't want to see things like this, but yeah, I got to go back even further. Apologize, folks. So that right there was Tim Robb and all them. So, okay, here we go. So right now we're going to see, yeah, the 2 cars. So Nick Lights just turns right there, back there. I'm not sure what that was about, but look at this Daryl Young. Yeah, it looks like he might have given Tim Robb there just a bad push on the exit. Thomas George goes 3 wide here naturally. It looks like there's some net code there actually between the 17 and the 57. And then there we go. So yeah, just another huge wreck involving a lot of these guys who, man, really needed a good, not necessarily needed a good finish, but definitely wanted to get that good finish, right? So tough break for everyone here involved. But that can happen in these races. The urgency to get to the end. It's all good. 14th caution, 12 for incident. Somebody in the Discord earlier said we're going to get more than 10 wrecks, and they were right. So that can happen. Everyone going for those final points and stages and wins and all kinds of stuff. But right now, this puts us in a pretty interesting standpoint. So right now, I do believe this is going to be our first green-white checkered attempt. We'll get confirmation of that in just a second. Yes, it will be. So right now, this is going to be our first attempt. So what that means is, for the folks who are maybe new to racing or whatnot, what we do, yeah, Daryl Young right there going to get the EOL for causing that wreck. Wasn't P2, but yeah, just pushed him too hard. Flag will come out at that point, and we'll end the race. If a yellow flag comes out before the leader hits the white flag, we will rack it up and do one more restart. We'll do that 3 times if needed. And on that 3rd time, if a yellow comes out before the white flag, then the race will end and the field will be frozen at the time of yellow. So final results will be determined based on when the race was ended under yellow. So they'll still have to cross the line, under yellow for the checkered flag, but that'll be the end of the race, essentially. So far though, 1 lap to go here. I do believe we're going to be choosing this time by, if my numbers are correct. Here we go, right there. Everyone choosing. This could be the ending of the race. A couple of guys were there. Were not in, or they were in the middle, but oh, good. It's at race control's discretion. Looks like we're going to extend the yellow one more time, which is fine because at a time like this, it's all good. It's overtime no matter what. It's not going to make the overtime a 1-lapper. It'll be a 2-lapper either way. So we will find out. Either way, pretty eventful race for our second race of the season. Our first non-super speedway race. So far, it's been pretty good. So big shout out to you folks who are watching on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Appreciate for those of you who are doing that. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs, which is pretty awesome. So once we do, it opens up some things on the channel like memberships and like some viewership only content, things like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, besides that, Premier Racing setups, awesome folks. Go and check them out. We use all the setups here for ASRA for that. But also go and check out, hey, Hosky.io, Cardano.io. They're on X, all over the place. Fantastic people. Harpoondesign.com. Man, Brantley over there makes great paint schemes for everything involving, next-gen car, Xfinity, Cup, or truck, excuse me. All kinds of great stuff. There's all of our partners right there. Man, awesome stuff. Admin Box, great race control products they have for those of you who do that. Really cool stuff. So, again, we would show you their awesome commercials during yellow flags, but with all the glitches we've been having, I'm not going to do that because I've got a feeling that's part of the issue, is our Streamlabs broadcasting software. So we're going to get that fixed before next week. So far, though, it's been a pretty good second half of this race with that. So right now, we're going to be our first green-white checkered attempt. Salyers and Johnson. Matthew Fleming right behind Smecker. Tell you what, Fleming made the playoffs last year, but did not get a win. He's been on a drought now for quite a while. He would love this win today. Devin Smecker as well. Not necessarily on a winning drought, but man, a win here could be huge for him. A lot of guys in this top 10 who could use a win. Definitely want to win. Let's see who can get it. Can Austin Salyers get this thing done? Can Michael Johnson get retribution after last season? We're going to find out. Right now, first green-white checkered attempt. Here we go. Green flag is out. So far, good stuff. Devin Smecker really having a great restart on the inside lane. Austin Salyers. Devin Smecker has the tires, I believe. Look at this. He is really, really fast right here. Salyers not going to defeat it too much. So far, so good. We stay green thus far. No caution has happened yet. And here we go. The white flag right now, sponsored by Cardano. Austin Salyers on the outside lane. Devin Smecker down low. Smecker, what an up and down day today so far, but right now has found himself in the lead out of turn 2. Can he get this thing done right here? Austin Salyers looking to get his first race win of the season, of his career. Can he do it? No, he cannot. That's going to be it. Devin Smecker going to be your winner today from Kansas for the Premier Setup Shop 240. Unbelievable job for Devin Smecker to get this thing done. Unbelievable job for that 26 DripDrops.io machine. Man, what an up and down day for him. But he got it done. And I'll tell you what, excellent racing by Austin Salyers there. Man, he could have pulled in Austin Dillon and wrecked Devin Smecker right there, or moved him out of the way or something, but did not do that. Much respect. But here we go. Devin Sprecher going to be doing the burnouts. What an awesome job here for him. There he is, your winner today, Devin Sprecher. That 26 machine, man, got it done early in the season and made it happen. P2, Austin Salyers. Third, Matthew Fleming. Fourth, Michael Johnson. Fifth, Max Brady. Medina, Hagen, Sobel, Selzano, and Weist rounding out your top 10. Great job by all these guys to get this thing done. Normally, folks, we would go back and thank some sponsors, run some commercials, but again, we're not going to do that right now just because I don't want to jack up the entire stream. So let's real quick bring in our top 3, as we like to do. We're going to start off first with Matthew Fleming. Let's bring him in real fast. Where is Matthew Fleming? Here he is. Hey, Matthew Fleming, P3 on the day, man. What an eventful race. Kind of messy at times, but you got yourself into a podium spot, man. How'd it go for you?
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, it was all about just kind of adapting and figuring out the setup, especially after 5 laps. You know, it actually came in pretty good. I wish I had just a little bit more for the end there to maybe try to get up another spot or 2, obviously. But overall, pretty happy with it. Stage 1, we didn't do quite so well, but stage 2 is at least able to get top 10, so at least got 1 stage point. So coming home 3rd, definitely needed this after finishing 17th at Daytona. So definitely help with the points. So. Yeah, unfortunately, we had there's quite a bit of wrecks, but yeah, you'll have that, I suppose. So, yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic that I was able to come home with P3.
Yeah, man, awesome job. Real quick, give us your shout outs for any sponsors, friends and family you got, man. Good stuff today.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to shout out the Wheels America, as I was running their scheme tonight. Thankful to have them along as sponsors. We got the Oasis Sim Racing, San Antonio Karting Complex, Texas OEM Wheels, Flum Dogs Auto Repair. Of course, we got Harpoon, who is a title sponsor of the league, and then they do our paints for us. They're always killer. Shout out to all the fans watching, wife and kids letting me do this, and obviously I want to shout out our flagship crew. Some of us had a little bit of hiccups here, but for the most part, I feel like we did pretty good. And then lastly, I want to shout out to you putting this league together, and obviously the broadcast. I might have heard where we had a little bit of issues earlier, but on the broadcast. But I'm glad he was able to get it rebooted, and yeah, I can't wait to go back and watch it.
Yes, sir, man. Good stuff today. We'll catch you next week at Homestead. Great stuff, man.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, there he is, Matthew Fleming, P3 on the day. Great job for him. We'll bring in P2, Austin Salyers, in that 19. Let's get him in real quick. Here he is, Austin Salyers, man. What an incredible run for you at the end. And, man, I thought you had something there to maybe defend, Sprecher, but you did the admirable thing, and you raced him hard, but you didn't wreck him. So, man, what an awesome job for you. How'd the race go in your view?
Oh man, you talk about butterflies and being so nervous racing around all these fast guys, and I knew I needed to commit to the bottom all race, and I started really back deep in the field and raced my way up to the front, and probably top 15 for the first part of the race, and then I was like, man, I'm not gonna take tires both stages. I didn't take tires, I think until like lap 88, so I had tires for forever. So I took tires when they all went down pit road and raced back up to the front and had a very, very, very fast car. And man, that bottom was that was my baby all night.
Yes, sir, man. What a great job today. Talk us about your sponsors real quick if you have any. Friends and family. What you got for us?
I don't got any sponsors, but thank you to Catch Fence Racing, you know, Marshall, picking me up in the off season, giving me a home, and man, I tried my best to get to Devin. I knew once Daryl got EOL'd that I knew Devin and Michael Johnson were gonna, you know, they're gonna be there. So I was like, man, Daryl was kind of my my rock there. He was holding me in.
Yeah, man, good stuff. Really good job. And yeah, next week you're also in that in the Dash for Cash for next week, because today was the qualifier, so the top 4 get to run for that. So some fun stuff for next week,
awesome.
man, at Homestead. So good stuff, dude. We'll catch you then.
Thank you so much.
All right, there he is, Austin Salyers. We're going to bring in Devin Smecker now, the winner today for the Premier Racing Setups 240. Where is he? Here he is. There he is, Devin Smecker, man, the winner of today's race. Unbelievable job, man. Up and down race for you and, quite frankly, the entire field, but you got the job done. You got P1 early right now in the season for Kansas. Man, how do you feel?
I feel about every emotion you could feel right now, driving a virtual race car. That was a long, long night. Kind of felt like an entire season wrapped into one. Caught some bad breaks, and it just played the strategy card, knowing that there was no way that I was going to win the race on speed, given how far back I was. So
Right.
we saved a set of tires, and lo and behold, the caution comes out with 20 to go or 30 to go, and just had to drive through some cars. Chose Ron on every restart until the last restart, and the last restart, and man, we got it done. I'm so happy. I'm so confused. I ran 25th all night. It was
Yes.
it was just yeah. I don't know, Steve. I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, we talked about that, man. Like, yeah, just like kind of, down, kind of mired back in the back, but then found yourself in position to win. So, I mean, hey, you can't make it up. Great stuff, man. Talk to us real quick about, kind of the vibe. I mean, I feel like it was a pretty eventful, a lot of cautions. Like, what was the, like, why? Like, do you think it was like setup? Do you think it was just early season nerves? Do you think it was just impatience? Like what was it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a perfect combination. The setup was difficult to drive. I've aired my complaints about it all week, and here I am in victory lane, so I should probably just shut up now. But no, the setup was not super easy to drive, at least for the first 5 laps or so. It wanted to snap loose, so that's why we saw so many restart wrecks. The setup tightened up, and those who were able to save their tires were able to make moves through the field, and I was able to do that at certain points. And I don't know, it's early in the season, we've got a big car count. The track was super grippy, even with that problem, with the car wanted to snap off of the left rear. It was still super grippy being nighttime. I just think it was the perfect combination. I think if you put us all out there again in the same race a week from now, it'll be half the cautions there were tonight. So just it was super interesting. It was long, the longest ASRA race I can remember being in. We're going on over 2 hours, so even longer than the 300 last year.
Yes, sir. Sure, certainly was kind of the name of the game for this season, to see how strategy can work. But yeah, man, awesome job. Big win today. Talk to us real quick before we let you go about your sponsors and friends and family. What you got?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you to Drip Drops for coming back on board for this season. Loved having them last year and loved having them back. And I promised those guys 3 wins this year. So we had 2 wins our first year together. I wanted 3 this year, and we got one off the board early. Coming off Daytona, man. I mean, we were leading Daytona on a green, white, checkered, and had some damage and didn't get any help. So we've been in contention to win both races. And able to get it done tonight. So thank you to Drip Drops, Adam Dean over there. Thank you to the Hosky folk for being a loyal sponsor at Murphy Esports, Cardano Race Team, my owner Brian Murphy, awesome teammates. We're going to have Corey Heim in the 62 car next week. We are super excited about that, and we have some other big names we can't reveal yet. in that stint 62 car. So keep an eye out for that. But to be able to have a driver like Corey Heim, who's going to be racing on Sundays before you know it, racing in our car in the ASRA field, that's huge for us. That's huge for the league. We want to see this league succeed. It's not just about our team. So we're very excited about all of it. So we're going to go to Homestead next week. We got a couple new sponsors that are going to be debuting there. Some beautiful cars on top of Corey. So I'm in T-boner mode right now. I'm working on my race pictures to get to social media. So as soon as I get out of the car, man, it's like a one-man show with graphics and driving the car. So I'm gonna get to that. Thank you to my fiance. She is 5 months pregnant now. We're expecting a baby boy the week after the season finale. So if he could just hold off until after the end of the season, that'd be great. But the vibes are good right now, Steve.
Yes, sir, man. Love to see it. Hey, next week, by the way, since you did win, well, actually, the whole top 4 are going to be the Dash for Cash 4 drivers again for next week at Homestead. Keep in mind. So you're going to be a part of that as well. So keep that momentum going, man. Good stuff. We'll get you next week, dude.
Thanks, Steve. We'll get to the bottom of those server issues.
Yeah, we sure will.
All right. Thank you.
All right, there he is. Man, the winner today, Devin Smecker. What a great job today. Yeah, I mean, final thoughts, honestly, pretty rough race. First half was pretty rough, caution-wise, and, it wasn't even really aggression from what I kind of saw from my point of view. I mean, some of it was, but a lot of it was just, getting loose, kind of mistakes here and there, hitting the wall, bouncing off guys, right? I mean, those things can be preventable, but, we saw some guys, pushing it 3 wide, 4 wide, and sometimes that just doesn't work. So, they got to kind of chill when it comes to that. But besides that, that's going to happen. Has some good racing in between. But that's it for Kansas, the Premier Setup Shop 240. Next week, folks, we'll be back for Homestead. Going to be a great race at Homestead. Last year's season finale. Going to be this season's Dash for Cash race. So be back in time for that. Again, as they announced today, Corey Heim will be making an appearance in the race. Should be a lot of fun there, too. So we'll catch you then. We'll see you back tomorrow night for the IMSA experience. The GT3s and the prototypes are going to be at Sebring. A lot of fun there. We'll be back live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But besides then, folks, have a good night and take care.